Hello there, I'm FapFapDragon, and today I'm going to be showing you a quick tutorial on how to make a custom folder icon, which is viewable across all Windows desktops. So, some people may have seen the method of making a folder icon where you can click on a folder and change it via its properties. And this works great for if you just want it on your computer, but if you want to put that on a thumb drive and move it somewhere else, the icon is actually not going to show up, which is fine for 99% of people, but there actually is a way to make it more permanent. So first things first, you need an icon, and I'm actually just going to show very quickly how you can just make an icon. So for today's example, I am going to be making this Steam games. This is just a folder with all my Steam games in it. I'm actually going to be making an icon for it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go grab just a Steam image off of Bing, I suppose. Wow, Microsoft Edge is really legitimately terrible. Alright, so I'm just going to copy that and get out of here. Next thing you're going to do is open up your GIMP photo editor. You can probably do it with Photoshop too. I just use GIMP because it's free. So I'm just going to make a new document, paste in the image, and then I just delete that. So here you are. You're left with a Steam icon in the window. Delete that background while I'm here. Alright, cool. And honestly, with these backgrounds, you can really get away with a lot. So even if you have, if you want to make like a custom icon or whatever, don't worry about small little imperfections. For example, if I bring down the breast size like this, if you just have something like that, you're gonna have a very hard time seeing when this is an icon form. So don't worry about it. So next thing I'm going to do is crop this down. If I can remember where it is. Yeah, so you're going to go into Image, and then Fit Canvas to Layers. So now you've got it nice and cropped, and we're actually just going to transform. I'm actually just going to scale this down, because there's no reason for it to be so big. So we'll do... There we go. Now we've got a nice tiny little Steam icon. So I'm going to export that as, and I'm going to navigate to that Steam folder. And I'm just going to save it as icon.ico. You can save it whatever you want, obviously. You could call it Steam icon or whatever your personal icon is. But the .ico is important because that's an icon file. So export that, and yeah, sure, whatever, I don't care. And then we've got that sorted. I'm not going to bother saving my changes. And so now we're going to get to the actual making it the custom folder. Okay, so we're at a point now where we've got our icon made and in the folder, and now we just need to make it the actual icon of the folder. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our search window and we're going to type in hidden, and you should get this. So this is show hidden files. Open this up, and then down here underneath File Explorer, you're going to change settings to show hidden in system files. You're going to click on show settings. You're going to set this to show hidden files, folders, and drives if you haven't already. And you're going to uncheck hide protected operating system files. Alright, and now we're going to go back to this folder. And you're going to go to the folder you want to change the icon of. Going to go to Properties, Customize, Change Icon. And you're going to select that icon that you made for it. So now you've got it set, and for most people this would be good enough. But if you actually move this drive, or your settings get changed around at all, or the drive letter changes, this isn't going to show up. So if we open this up, you can see there's a file in here that wasn't in here before, the desktop file. And this is actually what we're going to be editing so that it's always available. Okay, so now that we've got that desktop .ini file, we are going to actually edit it so that the icon is only is referenced kind of locally rather than globally. So you can actually use any text editor. Even Notepad works just fine. You can edit this text and nothing's going to be wrong. It's just normal text. It's not any kind of fancy file type. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code because Notepad makes my eyes hurt. So here we are. None of this needs to be touched. This is all fine. But right here, you're going to notice the icon resource is saying it's D Steam Games icon, icon.ce. So what that means is if this drive path changes at all, or the folder name changes or anything like that, we are actually going to lose our icon. It's not going to have the icon anymore. You're going to have to go back in and change it again. So if your drive letter is on a thumb drive or something like that, or for whatever reason, what you can actually do is, we'll just delete this. So first thing we're going to do is just type in icon file is equal to, and you remember I called my file icon.ico. And let me just double check that that's correct so I don't, yeah, icon.ico. So after we type in that, we're going to go to the next line. We're going to type in icon index is equal to 0. And then lastly, you can actually add an info tip is equal to, and then this info tip you don't have to add, but it's actually a really nice thing to add to custom folders. It's basically a hot tip, so when you hover your mouse over it, whatever it says. So for example, this would be this is a Steam library folder. And I'm actually just going to shorten that to Steam library folder. There we go. And then, like I say, don't touch this. This is all fine. So if we close that out, you're going to notice that now we have this Steam Games folder with this icon. And I've actually got another one prepared here to show you what would happen if the drive letter were to change. So I'll just show you that real quick. Alright, so now that you've got everything done, I'm just going to mention that you probably should go back into here and actually turn this back on. That way you don't make any mistakes or delete anything you're not supposed to. Okay, so here we are. I've got the test folder here. And just to be clear, this is the folder I started with. So if you missed it, this is what your code should look like. So if we actually hover over it here, you'll see okay, none of them are working. Hang on. There we go. There we go. So as you can see, it took a little while, but when you hover over it, it says Steam library folder. Just like we asked it to. So this one I actually just copied and pasted it. It's the exact same code. It's the exact same desktop ini file. As you can see. Alright, well, I don't have time for this. There we go. So, Steam library folder. Anyway, so what I'm going to show you now is if I just cut this, move it over to here. Yes. Why in the blast haven't you worked? There we go. So you can see the icon moved over. Now, if I go back to that folder I was in previously, I'm just going to copy this, paste it in here, but I'm actually going to delete this. And that should be fine. Yeah, so we lose it. And then I'm just going to open up my properties, customize, change icon, browse, test icon, open, okay, apply, okay. So now I've got it done the way you would normally do this sort of thing. So if I copy that into a new folder, you can see what's happened is the icon itself hasn't actually moved over. Because if we look at this desktop.ini file, you can see it's still got that drive path in there. So anyways, this has just been a very, very quick, dirty tutorial on how to create a custom folder icon that maintains its icon, regardless of the drive path. That's it. Thanks.